I recently bought myself a brand new guitar from the music store. I played it twice. I was really liking the guitar. I got it home and strummed it a couple times without the amp, and I realized the third fret had been buzzing the whole time. I just bought a brand new guitar, and there was a fairly serious issue with it right from the get-go. Now, when I was faced with this issue, I thought, well, this is ridiculous. I've just been sold a brand new guitar, and it has a fairly serious issue. I could have taken it back to the music store and returned it. But something told me I should just fix it myself. I did used to make guitars after all. So, rather than giving up on the guitar that I had decided I liked quite a lot, I decided I would fix it. I knew it would be a bit of work because I wasn't even sure why exactly it was doing it. It ended up being because a fret was lifting, and I did get it fixed after about 2 days of work. But something occurred to me about this guitar, and it made me think of the idea of relationships. Now, I hadn't spent much time with this guitar, but I already felt like I liked it. And since I liked it, even by the time I had first brought it home and realized there was an issue, since I liked it, I figured I would go the extra mile with it, put work, put time in, and get something out of it. Spending 2 days to fix this issue on the guitar not only helped me keep the good thing that I had intact and keep it going, it actually gave me a bit of a bond with this guitar. Now, not that I want to overemphasize the importance of materialism and clinging to objects, possessions that you have, but the idea that I liked something and I wanted to stick to it rather than simply returning the guitar, which I could have done, is something that I think reflects so much on relationships and human relationships. Even though I'm talking about an inanimate object, the principle is still there. If you realize you have something you like, you have to put in the work. After I was done putting in the work, I felt like I liked the guitar even more. I had invested something into my relationship with the guitar. I, myself, thought that there was a certain woman I was going to marry, and that all fell apart. Very early on, I realized with her that there was a tendency, when there was any issue at all, she wanted to flee. And this should have been a huge red flag to me. Whenever there was the first sign of a problem, she wanted to quit. And of course, she did end up quitting. After calling me her soulmate, after discussing ideas of me adopting her children even, of discussing marriage and buying land and a house together, she ended up giving it up for essentially nothing. She sat me down to tell me that she was moving on and actually didn't provide me with a single solid reason for her breaking up with me. Now, that's not to say there was no issues, but it is certainly to say that what issues there were, she was not willing to work on them. There's this problem throughout Western society, I would say, at the moment. There is no willingness to work past any issue. Women in particular expect their partner to be perfect from the get-go, have no issues, be, of course, 6 foot plus, make 6+ figures, and have a six-pack, right? That's not to say that some men don't also have extremely warped expectations. But all across the board, this is the reason that so few people are dating and few people are getting married and fewer people are having kids, because the ability and the willingness to work through problems, look past things, even you don't even have to say it's a problem, just getting to the point to even have a problem in a relationship down the road. No, it's not even that. It's even looking at a person and saying, you're not completely ideal, therefore I'm going to pass. I really liked this guitar, and when I got it home, I realized there was a serious problem. But I said, you know what? I like this guitar enough. I am going to work past this problem. And I did. And now that that problem is resolved, I like the guitar all the more. That is how I feel like you should approach a relationship. The problem is that so few people feel that way. They want everything handed to them. In fact, in this analogy, they would not only expect to get the perfect guitar, right? It's not unreasonable that I got the guitar I expected to get and there wasn't some issue on the fretboard, but in this analogy, they're expecting to get the perfect guitar for nothing. There's no expectation on the part of people looking for a partner, of the expectation of themselves. They expect perfection from others, and they expect nothing of themselves. The unwillingness to work towards anything is the undoing of our society in so many ways right now. We have to be willing to accept flaws in others, and we have to be able to gauge, because everybody is imperfect, which things that they have are valuable and which things are too much to deal with. And I, of course, am not saying that in some cases you should not avoid certain people who definitely display really awful characteristics, and there should be plenty of red flags in some cases looking at certain people. But there certainly is far too much expecting nothing of oneself in this paradigm. People are unwilling to work and unwilling to push past problems. What can be said about this? What can be done? It's now the going rate. It's now the expectation. It's now the norm. Especially with online dating and feeling like you have a sea of people at your fingertips. People will just move on to the next person, because it's not as if anybody's dating face-to-face like that or searching for people to date face-to-face. They're doing it digitally, where there's just seemingly countless people to pick from. So they don't have to deal with this person in front of them that may have one or two flaws. They just keep going on looking for the flawless one. I hope we get past this as a society, but I don't know if we will. I don't know when this ends. I don't know how this reverts back to normalcy. I don't know how much longer this goes on, but I hope it doesn't. I think the thing to take away is, despite this being the mentality that's out there, don't be this person. Be willing to work past problems. Be willing to sacrifice. Be willing to overlook flaws in people. Again, not that we want to overlook all the flaws, and we don't want to give so much grace that we're letting people get away with anything. But we're definitely on the opposite end of the spectrum in certainly not giving enough grace. We should be mindful of our own flaws so that we can see that others also have flaws and therefore give them grace.